This book challenges everything we thought we knew about our most basic biological function, breathing, in a quest to uncover how something as simple as changing the way we breathe can dramatically improve our health. James Nestor ended up on a lifelong journey to find the perfect way to breathe. Here is the new science of the lost art of breathing. The sad truth is that you could be killing yourself with every breath you take. Modern-day humans have lost touch with our breath, and as a result have obstructed airways, breathing problems, and much, much more. To understand why, we need to go back hundreds of years to our ancient ancestors, who all had wide mouths, perfect teeth, and massive nasal passages with no obstruction ever. The jaw and face on the skulls of these humans is nearly twice the size of people today. They all had enormous forward-facing jaws, expansive sinus cavities, and broad mouths. No breathing or respiratory problems or any sleep apnea. This remained true for all Homo sapiens up to a few hundred years ago. Modern skulls have the opposite growth pattern. Chins are recessed and jaws are slumped back. Sinus is shrunken, crooked teeth, misaligned jaws, overbites, snaggled teeth, and malocclusion. Humans are now the only mammal on the planet of 5,400 to experience these things. To quote Nestor, when mouths don't grow wide enough, the roof of the mouth tends to grow up instead of out, impeding the development of the nasal cavity, shrinking it, leading to obstruction and inhibited airflow. We are officially the most plugged up species on Earth. So why did this happen? Two main reasons. Number one, as we evolved as a species, our brains grew and needed space to stretch out in our skulls. It took the space from our faces and our jaws, shrinking the space for our sinuses, airways, and mouths. The second reason was the rapid industrialization of farmed foods. Food became softer, and as a result, we chewed less. Chewing less led to our jaws and mouths to shrink in size, further shrinking our airways and nasal passages. So, where are we now? Around 40% of Americans, or around 120 million people in the United States, suffer from chronic nasal obstruction on a daily basis. 50% of Americans are chronic mouth breathers. And as you might know, mouth breathing is absolutely terrible for your health. In fact, Nestor did an experiment where he plugged up his nasal passages for 10 days, and on night 1, he had a 1,300% increase in snoring and sleep apnea, and by night 10, that increased to 4,820%. That's not all. Mouth breathing also leads to dry mouth, dental decay, and increased levels of stress and anxiety. As Nestor puts it, we are the worst breathers in the animal kingdom. Though, it's not just obstruction problems we have. As a result of our terrible breathing, our bodies suffer physically and mentally. So, what can we do about it? Nestor goes through 5 different things we can do to help fix our damaged airways and bodies. Number 1, always breathe through your nose. Not only is mouth breathing terrible for you, nose breathing is actually really good for you. The nose has a built-in filtering system for air before it gets to our lungs. When we breathe in through our noses, the air is heated, cleaned, and moistened for absorption. In addition, the air we breathe through our noses is pressurized before it reaches our airways and mouths, actually strengthening the jaw, the opposite of what mouth breathing does. That's not all though. Breathing through our noses can also help with proper oral health by maintaining optimal levels of moisture in the mouth, supporting saliva production, which protects the teeth and gums from decay and disease. In contrast, mouth breathing actually causes dry mouth. Finally, breathing through our nose is also shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes a state of calm and relaxation. This is in contrast to mouth breathing, which can actually trigger a stress response, signaling the body to enter a state of alertness or anxiety. Number 2, exhale completely. Nestor's reasoning for complete exhales is rooted in both scientific research and ancient practices. Nestor cites 2 studies, one over 70 years and one over 30 years of 5,200 and 1,000 participants respectively, that independently found that lung capacity is the #1 predictor of lifespan. Both studies, one with researchers with the Framingham study, one with the University of Buffalo, found that the smaller and less efficient lungs became, the quicker subjects got sick and died. This led Nestor down a rabbit hole of how we as humans can keep our lungs large and healthy throughout our lives, and how someone can strengthen deteriorated lungs. Our lungs, much like the rest of our bodies, shrink and weaken as we get older. But does this have to be the case? As Nestor sees it, no. Full exhalations work the respiratory muscles, particularly the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, by requiring them to contract more forcefully. Over time, this can lead to not only stronger respiratory muscles, but larger and more efficient ones, which is beneficial for overall respiratory health, endurance, and may even improve posture. Deep and complete exhalations also activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes a state of calmness and relaxation throughout the body. Number 3, breathe slowly. Much like nose breathing and full exhalations, slow breathing also activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Not only that, it has a ridiculous amount of other health benefits, including improved heart rate variability, aka variation in time between each heartbeat. Higher HRV is associated with better cardiovascular health, stress resilience, and overall autonomic nervous system balance. Nestor discusses how slow breathing practices can synchronize the heart's rhythm with the breath, leading to improved HRV. Secondly, lower blood pressure. Nestor highlights studies where participants who engaged in slow, controlled breathing could significantly lower their blood pressure over time. This effect is attributed to the relaxation response elicited by such breathing practices. And thirdly, enhanced mental focus and clarity. Slow breathing can also benefit mental and cognitive functions. By promoting a state of relaxation and reducing stress, slow breathing helps in improving focus, concentration, and memory. Nestor notes that many meditation and mindfulness practices emphasize slow breathing to achieve a state of mental clarity and presence. Number 4, less. James Nestor suggests breathing less, meaning taking in less air with each breath, not necessarily breathing less often. Here's why. Breathing less actually helps increase the body's tolerance to carbon dioxide. Contrary to common belief, carbon dioxide is not merely a waste product. It plays a crucial role in the body's physiological processes. An increased tolerance to CO2 allows for better oxygen release to the cells and tissues, which supports better energy production and reduced fatigue. Nestor mentions how modern lifestyles often lead to chronic hyperventilation, where we breathe more air than necessary. This leads to a reduction in CO2 levels and can disturb the delicate balance of oxygen and CO2 and lead to various health issues, including anxiety, asthma, high blood pressure, and poor circulation. Breathing less actually helps mitigate this overbreathing, restoring the balance and promoting better health. Finally, by training the body to breathe less, you can improve respiratory efficiency and lung capacity. This has a positive impact on cardiovascular health, as the heart doesn't need to work as hard to oxygenate the body. Over time, this can lead to lower blood pressure and a reduced risk of heart-related diseases. Number 5, chew more. Chewing more, especially harder foods or chewing gums, can contribute to the development and maintenance of a more robust facial structure. Nestor explores how modern diets, which often consist of softer foods, may contribute to the underdeveloped jaws, narrower airways, and misaligned teeth. Increased chewing activity can stimulate bone growth in the jaw and widen facial bones. A well-developed jaw and facial structure, fostered by regular vigorous chewing, can lead to larger airways. This is crucial for better breathing. Nestor links underdeveloped jaws and the resulting constricted air passages with increased risks of breathing difficulties, sleep apnea, and snoring. By advocating for more chewing, he suggests a preventative strategy to maintain open, clear airways. Increased chewing has also been shown to stimulate saliva production, which helps neutralize acids in the mouth, reducing the risk of tooth decay and gum disease. And that's it. I know that was a lot. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch a video similar to this one, you can watch one here. And also, I want to take a moment to shout out my incredible editor, Caroline. You can check them out in the description below if you want to see some of their other stuff or hire them yourself. Thanks for watching. This is getting dry just from all this mouth breathing.